Hey Math 8. So we're going to talk really quickly about the stained graph activity in case you weren't there when I talked about it in class or if you need a refresher, okay? So just as a reminder, all the instructions on what you're supposed to do are on this page with the slope-intercept form, standard form, and point-slope form columns. You need to make sure that you're doing 4 at least from each column. And then of those 4, make sure on your slope-intercept and your point-slope form equations, you've got some that are positive slopes and some that are negative slopes, okay? If you need to review notes from this, that is your 3.7 and 3.8 notes, okay? So, and 3.4, sorry. So, just so you can see it on the screen, 3.4 notes is slope-intercept form. Standard form is going to be your 3.8 notes. And your point slope form will be 3.7 notes. Okay, if you do not remember how to do those are where you're going to go. Okay, I am going to record just a quick recap of how to do one of each of those so that you can see it. If that's not enough, though, that's where you need to go, is to those notes sections. Okay, once you have those selected which ones you're going to use, you're going to go ahead and fill those in on here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and do numbers 1, 9, and 17 just on this page right here. So if I look at number 1, that would be this one here. So I have y equals negative 5/4 x minus 5. The slope for that would be negative 5/4. So I'm going to go ahead and put that there. And then my y-intercept b is negative 5. I'm going to put that there for b. Okay, I'm going to do that for 4 of them for slope-intercept form equations. Then I'm going to look at number 9. On my standard form, it says 7x minus 3 equals negative 21. Okay, you might want to do this on some scratch paper or somewhere where you have space, maybe on the back of the graphing paper. But it was 7x minus 3y equals 21. Let me just double check and make sure I wrote that down correctly. Okay, I did not. It was negative 21, so good thing I checked. Okay, so then reminder, I'm going to go in, make my table. You can use the one that's on the paper right there, right here if you want to. I'm going to do it right over here just so I have a little bit more room to do it. But I have x and y, and I'm going to put a 0 and a 0. Reminder, when I have 0 for x, I'm going to cover up the x, okay, because it's 0. And then my y would be negative 3y. Divide both sides by negative 3. So I get y equals positive 7. Okay. Then I'm going to do the same thing. Whoops. Do the same thing, but I'm going to cover up. Instead of my x, I'm going to cover up my y because now y is 0 here. So I cover that up. I have 7x equals negative 21, so divide both sides by 7, and I'm going to get x equals negative 3. Okay, that's what I'm going to put right here on number 9. So I have 7 and negative 3. Okay, so your standard form, guys, is going to be the one that you have to do the most work on for this project. Okay, once I have finished that, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go up to standard form. I'm going to do to point slope form. I'm going to do number 17. So I have y minus 2 equals negative x plus 4. All right, so remember, on point slope form, these numbers that are the x and the y, you need to flip the sign on those. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and flip the sign. My x is going to be negative 4 on number 17. My y was, I had minus 2, so it's going to be positive 2 for my y value. Okay, and then my slope, we had just the negative sign, which means that is negative 1 is my slope. Right, so if there's not a number, remember that's an imaginary 1. So there's that. Okay, so once I have 4 in point slope form, at least 4 down here, at least 4 here, and then at least 4 here, I'm ready to go ahead and graph. Again, you can do more than 4 in each one, and you'll get bonus points, okay? So I'm going to go ahead now and go through the graphs of each of these. All right, so I'm going to start with number 1, the slope-intercept form 1. Now notice right here, it gives you the instructions on how to graph, but I'm going to walk through it anyway, okay? So step 1 is to plot the y-intercept. Okay, the y-intercept is going to be -5/4. Okay, now when you do your graphs, guys, remember, I want you to graph in pencil first and then change it to a pen or a marker that looks good. Okay, so there's my point at -5/4. Notice that's just below -1. All right, that is step 1. Step 2, after I plot the y-intercept, says to apply the slope from the b value. So I'm going to look at my b value. Okay, and my slope was -5. That means I'm going to go down 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'm going to go over 1. Okay, and there's my point. All right, now remember, when I do slope-intercept form, I'm going to have at least 3 points. So then I'm going to do one more. I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then over 1. All right, and there's my 3 points. Then I'm going to get a straight edge, and I am going to, whoops, don't know what I did there. Okay, I'm going to get a straight edge, and I'm going to draw my line through. Now, mine's not going to be perfect because it's difficult to put a straight edge on a surface screen. Okay, so I'm going to try it, but if it's not perfect, that's why. It's because I'm trying to put it on the surface screen. All right. Like I said, there I go, clicking stuff. Okay, so it should, yeah, this is just not going to look good. Okay, that was worse than if I didn't use the straight edge. Let me try it again without the straight edge. Okay, you're going to make your line. Okay, you do not have to have the arrow at the end. Okay, you don't have to have the arrow at the end. You can just draw the line through. Okay, and hopefully it looks better than that because you're going to be able to use a straight edge. Like I said, can't really use a straight edge on the surface very well. So that's kind of just what I ended up with. All right, so there is number 1. Number 2, okay, once again, here's your instructions. Sorry, number 9, not number 2. Your instructions for graphing in standard form are right there. So in order to graph, number 1, I'm going to complete the zero table. Guess what? Already did it. Okay, step 2 is to plot both intercepts. So first I'm going to plot my x-intercept. All right, and that's going to be at -3. Right there. Then I'm going to plot my y-intercept, which is going to be at 7. Again, those are on my y, that's on my y-axis since it's my y-intercept. It's going to go there. And remember, with standard form, you only need to have 2 points. So then I'm going to draw my line through it. Again, you're going to use a straight edge so it looks better than mine. And there's your line for standard form on number 9. Okay, the last one, point slope form. Yet again, guess what? The instructions are right here in front of your face, so make sure you use them. Number 17, okay, I'm going to first plot the point. My point is at -4,2. Okay, one mistake that we made on a recent quiz a lot was that we thought that -4,2 meant I need to put a point at -4 right here, and put a point at 2 here, and then draw my line. Well, no, that doesn't work, because guess what? That doesn't have a line of negative, or a slope of -1, which is what it specifies right here. Okay, so you have to make sure you don't do that. You're going to put your point at -4,2, right there. Okay, so my x value is -4, my y value is 2. Then I can go ahead and I can draw my line. Okay, and I'm going to make 3, sorry, not draw my line. I need to have 3 points by applying the slope from the point, just like it says on step 2 there. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to do more than 3 points just so that I can see it a little bit better and hopefully make a little bit straighter of a line for you guys this time. All right. And your line will look something like that. Okay. Now, once you have all of your lines done, you're ready to move on. And we're going to go ahead and color, right? So I'm going to make another line here just to make it look a little bit more like what you're going to see. And then to show you what the coloring should look like, each color, so each section that you're going to color needs to have a different color than the one next to it. So any sections that are next to each other shouldn't have the same color. Let me make another line really quick. So let's go here. All right, so if I look at the ones that I have, I might do this one red. Okay, it'll need to be pretty neat. Okay, so a little bit neater than what I'm doing. I'm kind of just flying through this really quick. All right, then I'm going to find a different color. Let's go with purple. I might put that right here. All right. Then I might do blue up here. Okay, again, make it neater than this one is. All right, but the idea is that every section that's next to another section is a different color. Okay, so all of these are going to be different colors from the ones next to them. All right, I'll just do one more. Let's say I'm going to do light blue. Okay, maybe I do that one here, and I'm actually going to do one more after this, just as another good example. Okay, so there's my light blue. All right, and then maybe I pull the purple back out and I go over here. Notice that it's okay I'm using a purple here because my other purple is not right next to this purple. Okay, so yes, I have this same shade of purple twice on here, but they aren't right next to each other, so it works out perfectly. All right, I think that is about it for what you're supposed to do on this video or on this project. Hopefully this video is helpful. I know it's probably a little bit long, but there's all your instructions. Here's a couple of examples. I showed them to you in class, but if you didn't see them, here they are. I really like this one. I think this one looks cool with the color scheme where everything is blue. I think that's an awesome idea if you want to do something like that. Just again, make sure you don't have any sections that are right next to other sections the same color. All right, you'll notice they did a really good job of alternating and making sure they didn't have that problem. Here's another good one, like I showed you in class. A lot of really good straight lines. They did a great job of using their straight edge. All right, and then the last one is right here. All right, this is the last example I have for you. A little bit lighter of shading, but it still looks very neat. They used a straight edge to their advantage and did a really good job. So that is it for this video. Hopefully it's cleared everything up. Oh, one last thing. Make sure you put your name right here when you're done so that we know whose drawing it is. Sound good? All right. Good luck. Have fun. See you guys next time I'm back at school.